Here we are in the Ivy Crossings, going to do a First Amendment audit on the Arapahoe County Sheriffs, who are occupying somebody's residence right now without permission.
How's it going?
How are you doing, sir?
Okay for this?
Well, I'm doing a First Amendment audit.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Yep. Do you guys have a warrant?
You don't need a warrant. Come here so I can talk to you now.
Okay. I'm right here, sir. Why are you walking away?
Because I'm putting this stuff away.
Okay, do you want me to wait for you then?
If you want to, you can come downstairs. Up to you. Are you everywhere?
Something like that.
They're still in there.
I know, I got
They're
you.
not allowed to be in there.
I know. You ain't got to tell me nothing. This is the apartment. It's number 306. You guys are the residents here? And you didn't give them permission to enter the dwelling? You're not on the lease, you said.
Right. So they need to have somebody on the lease.
They asked me if I could go in there initially.
Just to
Only the primary leaseholder is allowed to give permission to enter a dwelling.
That's exactly.
This is Colorado state law. It's also Colorado state law that they have to have probable cause, which can only be established by a member of the judiciary. This is found in the annotations of Colorado Criminal Rules of Procedure. Rule number 3. There's 4 officers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That we can see. So we're waiting to talk to the officers right now.
Are they supposed to be in there?
So you still have a chance to talk, sir?
Yeah, my supervisor's going to talk.
That's your supervisor, okay.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
Let me set this stuff down. So, what are your questions?
So, well, first of all, I'm doing a First Amendment audit, and we'd like to know where the warrant's at.
Okay, we're seeking one at the moment.
And you're inside the
Okay,
house.
so hold on, no, sir. You haven't received a warrant yet.
No.
Okay.
We were given consent to enter is what my deputies were telling me. And that's where we found somebody inside the apartment. Now we're just maintaining the threshold while we seek a warrant, maintaining crime scene security.
Doesn't the permission have to be given by the primary leaseholder?
Right. Yes.
That's not a thing.
And
'cause
then it's not the
in
primary leaseholder.
Colorado law, it
Kinsey
does
is,
say that you have to have permission from the primary leaseholder, because a person who doesn't live in a place can't give you permission to search a place that isn't theirs.
Well, they gave us permission to enter the place.
The primary
And that's
leaseholder.
what we're going off of for right now. So right now we're just maintaining the threshold and seeing security for that while we seek a search warrant.
Okay, but there's nobody in the threshold of the dwelling. The door's closed and whoever's
There's a
inside is
deputy
inside doing
So that
whatever
means
they're doing.
Maintaining the threshold means that he's staying inside the apartment.
So, as given the proper jurisprudence to a probable cause, Colorado Rules of Criminal Procedure, rule number 3 says that you have to have a probable cause established by a member of the judiciary. And the way America's
Which is
built
what we're
off of
seeking the
checks
warrant
and
for.
balances.
Right now we're maintaining the crime scene and security for it.
But if you haven't been given permission,
Sir, I'm telling you that what my deputies are telling me, we were given permission, so what we're holding the crime scene right now.
okay, well, I'm just making sure, sir, you are aware of the fact that Colorado Rules of Criminal Procedure, rule number 3, requires probable cause to be established by a member of the judiciary,
We're
correct?
waiting on that for the warrant.
Okay.
Okay, so right
And
now
you've
we're just
also
we're
entered
not
the dwelling
searching- we're not
without
searching
the
with consent.
consent of the primary leaseholder. You
Okay.
got it from somebody else,
That's
correct?
for you and the courts to decide. Okay, right now I'm going off of what my deputies told me and what we're doing. Okay.
Okay.
Right now we're doing our due diligence and following the procedures as best we can.
Well, I mean, as best as you can, and
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't mean to block.
that leaves a lot of room for a gray area, don't you think?
Well, law enforcement work is a lot of gray area. And
Yeah,
we
I
navigate
give
it as
you that.
best we can.
I give you that. Now,
I'm taking
the
you to daycare.
Constitution requires that you have a specific warrant.
And we're seeking that right now.
After you've entered the dwelling, then you're going to
Yes,
seek
we
a
entered it
specific
with
warrant.
consent,
Okay.
and we're seeking the warrant to further search the apartment.
You don't feel like this borderline skates on fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine?
I don't know if it does or if it doesn't, but right now that's up for the courts to decide.
Are you conducting an investigation?
Yes, we are. But
You
right
are
now,
conducting
they're
an
not
investigation.
investigation inside that apartment. They're simply maintaining the threshold of that
You are aware that there is a clause that prohibits law enforcement from forcing somebody to give up any type of testimony or evidence or things of that nature against themselves, correct?
Yes, I am.
You are. And although you're aware of that, you all made the choice to enter the dwelling and close the door,
For crime scene security.
which could have been maintained with the door open with an officer at the door, at the actual threshold, correct?
It could have, but
It could
for
have.
right now, the deputy chose to do what he chose to do.
Okay.
I'm out here. I'm not up there. I'm not that deputy.
Okay, so can I
Yeah.
speak to
But
that?
you authorize
And
what
he
the
was in
deputy's
there
doing
too,
because
so-
you're the
At
supervisor.
this point in time, I haven't had a chance to go up there and figure out what he's doing any further than beyond this because I'm down here talking to you. Is that
Okay.
fair?
I'll give you that. Is
So I
there a
can't
way
really
that
do
we
my
can
job
get
because I'm
cards?
down here talking to you.
Can we get cards from all the deputies involved and we'll let you do your
I'll
business?
tell you what, I'll give you my card with the case number on it, and from that, you can get names of everybody who was involved on scene. Is that fair? Because right now, all of my deputies are spread around doing other jobs
That's
and
what I mean.
assignments. And by law, we only have to give cards to people that we contact.
I understand
It's
that.
a suspicious
I understand
manner,
that.
Okay?
And I also understand that there's going to be an endorsed witness list and we'll be able to get all the information from all of the
Correct.
deputies there. That's all right.
Correct.
You're also aware that this is an unincorporated
Hey,
Arapahoe
let me
County?
call you right back, okay? Thanks. All right, thanks. Yes, I'm aware of that.
So, being unincorporated Arapahoe County, that also makes this county disenfranchised and not a part of the corporate America that uses the all capitals, which is
Could I get the case number?
the way that the U.S. manual style of writing dictates that a corporate entity is addressed.
Got it. This is my card, okay? That's who I am. The
Okay.
case number for the report is on the back.
Did you hear my last inquiry,
Yeah,
sir?
about somebody writing in all capital letters.
Well, since this is unincorporated Arapahoe County, that makes this little section of land right here disenfranchised, and it's not a part of the corporate America that uses the all capitals in their pleadings. Since they're disenfranchised like that and they don't operate in the corporate aspect that the rest of corporate America does, when you use the all capital spelling of a person's name, which is in the manual style of writing as a corporate entity, that would be an incorrect way to file your document, your
Okay, well, I don't write
complaint.
my reports in all capital.
or the complaint. The complaint, when you file the complaint, that's what I'm talking
I
about,
don't
because
write-
that is
I
the
don't-
initiation
I
of an
don't write my
action.
reports in all capital letters. So right now, I've got bigger things to worry about right
Okay,
now
sir.
than all capital letters. But I appreciate you trying to bring
Well, I
that
just
my
wanted
attention.
to make sure if you were aware of these things. If not, that's okay. It's
So,
a hard
do you have
job.
any other specific questions
Nope,
about
that's
this
all
at this
right.
point in time?
You can have a great day.
I'm going to go off and do my job.
We'll just watch, see what's going on.
See, they're in the apartment and they said they're not allowed to search until they get a search warrant, but they're all in there. They were in and out.
Yeah,
Hello?
he's already
No,
told
Briggs, I'm gonna need you here.
us
The police
that
are all through my apartment. They don't
the,
have a search warrant, and I'm gonna need you to tell them that.
fruit of the poisonous tree was pretty much established.
So I can get
They,
my shit back, my gun, but they're not gonna give me back.
Don't really have a probable cause. He refused to answer what the specific warrant would be for.
I need you here right now.
We
I
have-
need you here.
A Sergeant Adam Workman.
I can't, nigga. I have to stay here. They're running through my apartment, and I need you here to tell them that it's registered. All right.
Okay.
What's wrong?
We have a big difference here with this video than with the videos that Denver Metro Audit put up, because we actually quoted criminal procedure, we actually quoted case law, we actually quoted the Constitution, and we actually jammed up the officer, supervisor, Mr. Workman here, who was not aware of a lot of the things that we had to talk about. And although he was aware of some of the things we had to talk about, he chose to continue with his course of action. And even though he promised us that he was going to go upstairs and see what was going on, he walked over here to this vehicle and then came back over here to this vehicle. And the supervisor did not go upstairs to see what was going on behind the threshold of that door. We have another officer that went up there, so we're going to go up there and see what he's doing. See if he's deciding to go behind the threshold of the door and see what those guys are doing. I should probably eat my breakfast burrito. These are the Ivy Crossing apartments. I believe since the officer was on camera, this is not inadmissible to. I'm going to step back this far, that way they don't feel threatened. But this is the apartment in question. This is one of the investigating officers. I'm making sure I stand back from the door. I don't want to.
No, you're good, man. Actually, that's a perfect distance. Thank you. We appreciate it.
I actually went to school to be a paralegal, so I kind of know the routine a little bit.
Sure, appreciate that.
Yep. As you know, the door is still closed. We cannot tell if an officer is just maintaining the threshold or if he's trashing the apartment, looking for whatever he could find, which would remain unconstitutional. And although they may have a reason, they did not go about it the proper way. And that's the problem with our legal system nowadays. It's just a rubber stamp conveyor belt. And if there was a problem with somebody and they needed rehabilitation or corrections like the Department of Corrections would imply, there is no correcting. There is no understanding of the situation. It's just rubber stamped assembly line. They're guilty, send them to prison.
Okay, can you turn that so I can get my door?
You want me to move it down? I'll move it down for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Come on.
Is anybody in the house?
The officers.
They're still in there?
The officers are still in the house. Well, the officers that we've seen on the scene have all been seen on the scene. The officer that they said was in the house, I haven't seen come out yet. He made sure to shut the door before he came out, opened it back up, stepped in, spoke to somebody or something, and stepped back out and shut the door. He told me that this is a perfect distance to stay away, so I'm just waiting for him to come out. Look, come on, come on, come on. Hey.
Yeah, it's an illegal search.
See, the thing about probable cause is and being able to search somebody on incident. Let's say a situation like this happens where somebody does something somewhere else and then runs to an apartment building or runs to a place, a dwelling. They have to have a direct line of sight. They have to have direct knowledge that is presented to a member of the judiciary in accordance with Colorado Rules of Criminal Procedure Rule number 3. There's case law in the annotations that says that only a member of the judiciary can establish probable cause. So they would have had to secure the dwelling from the outside so that nobody left, got the warrant, and entered the dwelling. Because on the 3rd floor of this apartment building, if somebody decides to jump out the window, they can stand outside. If somebody decides to run out the door, they can stand by the door. They don't have to enter the dwelling prior to informing a member of the judiciary about what they believe is worthy of probable cause.
So an illegal search, basically.
Yep. We just gotta be patient. We just gotta be patient. Let them come out. You just gotta let them fuck up. You know what I mean? If they're gonna fuck up, let them fuck up. But don't give them a reason to get antsy. I wouldn't. I'd just leave it be. Trust me. Cause it's like having a girl and you know she's stepping out with your best friend and you could jam them up before you catch them in the hucklebuck. Or you could be patient and you could lay back and you can run up on them when they, you know what I mean? And then they can't deny it. If you catch them in public, maybe at a bar, at a restaurant, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, we're just kicking it. But you catch them in bed doing the butt naked, yeah, then you got them. Legs all up in the air. We're just going to wait right now with the legs all up in the air because, like I said, they could have secured the premises from the outside right here and the outside downstairs to make sure nobody jumped out the window, got the warrant. But they decided not to do that. So we want to see how long they go in there, how long they search for it, and then we want to see what it looks like after they leave, or if they leave with anything in their hands. Because until the warrant comes up and is presented to the primary leaseholder, it could be for anything. And I bet you they're going to come out with a handful of stuff before they get a warrant. That part. Because here goes something else that a lot of people ain't thinking about. Me and you got this hallway. You could hear me this distance right here, right? We don't know what them police are talking about on their radio. He could be in there looking for stuff, finding stuff, saying, get a warrant for this, get a warrant for that, get a warrant for this. And he doesn't have to be on the radio to do it. He could be on the cell phone calling the supervisor. Because the supervisor that's applying for the warrant went in his truck and sat down instead of coming up here to talk to his deputy to make sure they weren't searching like he said he was going to. And he said he was going to do that on this video right here. And then we filmed him on video, walk over to the other car, and then go back to his car and get in the front seat and sit down.
You're smart. You know what
This is the man that took accountability for that and didn't come up here and do his job. Sergeant Adam Workman gave us, the American people, the people that employ Sergeant Workman, okay? He said he was going to come up here and make sure that that door right over there, just past the fire extinguisher, that the officers in there were only securing the threshold.
Nah, and even the officers, they were saying, like, we just want juvie. Like, they were saying, like, nigga, we're not trying to take nothing. We're not trying to search anything. We just want him. That's literally what they said.
Who's him? Did him get arrested already?
Yeah,
Him's gone? So
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
him is gone. The officers told the people on the scene that they only wanted him. However, they're still in the house. They got him already. He's been arrested and taken to jail. And they're still in the house, even though they got him. They said all they wanted was him, and they're still in the house.
Literally, they're still in the house.
Getting a search warrant for what?
Exactly, we don't have shit in there.
So, I feel like we should go back down here and ask the officer some more questions now that we know this.
It's not making no sense.
Oh, it makes plenty of sense. See, Alabama versus Boynton, they argued, and they litigated that case for years because they wanted to differentiate between stops. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times what you'll have happen is an officer will come get somebody on the street that looks like they're up to no good, and they'll stop them and they'll question them and they'll sweat them and they'll hope they find a felony.
They're not supposed to be in there though, right? Especially because the lease owner didn't give them permission to go in.
Watch this.
Nah, that's what.
Sir, can I
Oh, look.
say, boss?
They're
Can I holler
also
at you?
saying the other suspect, they're not looking for him because they only got one description, and it's the description of juvie and juvie only, you know?
Hold on,
So-
here, watch this. So, sir, I was informed by this gentleman right here that you told them that you verbatim, your words were, "We just want him." Or maybe not your words, but
I
the
didn't say
officer's
that.
words.
Nobody said that.
You're sure nobody said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We said we're looking for a suspect. We're looking for
Oh,
a
you're
person.
looking for a person.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all I was saying.
Did you get a suspect?
Yeah. We did.
Oh, he's in
I can
custody.
give you that information. Yes. I can
Okay.
give you that.
Well, that's all I wanted to know.
Huh?
Next, my question is since you got the suspect, like, what was the point of securing the threshold if the house was clear?
Because the suspect was armed, and the firearm was not found on the suspect. So due to where the suspect was found, it's a high probability that the gun is somewhere in where the suspect was found, and that's why we're
Okay, now what about chain of custody? Did you have a direct line of sight on the suspect the entire
Chain of
time
custody?
he was,
that he was running.
well, whatever
away
he was
from us?
doing?
We had a direct line of sight from where I told him, hey, come over here. He stepped outside and ran upstairs. But like I said, man, you can go to court for all that. You can get all that from court.
No, I'm just asking.
All right.
I'm just inquiring.
Excuse
Have you
me
ever
real
heard of the
quick.
case law Mulberry
Give
versus
me 1 second.
Madison?
Excuse me, I'm gonna talk to myself.
Okay, you have a good one.
Wait an hour. Bruh, I don't know. I'm trying to figure this shit out as it is, dude. All my shit's aside. I'm already in here. Not even now, bro. There's only one person that's snitching on you.
So some of the officers left, and we still have 3 officers.
He said they're just sitting in there. She's back for that type. Weird thing. Like, why didn't y'all grab my phone? Our kids go. Yeah, we were